The execution was meant to be a warning. High Executor HFY stood before the crystalline transmission array. His forearms spread wide as billions of beings across 17 star systems watched. The human female, barely past adolescence by their species standards, knelt on the platform. Her wrists bound with energy shackles that pulsed an ominous red. "Citizens of the Galactic Dominion," HFY's voice boomed through universal translators. "Witness the fate of those who dare defy our absolute rule. This human terrorist has murdered 12 of our peacekeepers during an illegal gathering on Earth's Luna colony." The girl, Sarah Chen, aged 17, lifted her head. Her dark eyes held no fear, only a burning defiance that made several alien dignitaries shift uncomfortably in their hovering observation pods. "The gathering was peaceful," she said quietly, but the amplifiers carried her words to every corner of known space. "We were singing birthday songs for my little brother. Your peacekeepers opened fire on children." HFY's mandibles clicked in annoyance. "Silence, terrorist! Your species has proven itself incapable of civilized behavior. Perhaps your death will teach the remaining humans proper obedience." The execution beam charged with a high whine. Sarah closed her eyes and whispered something in what the translators identified as Mandarin. The beam fired. The girl's body crumpled. Across the 17 systems, alien populations watched in satisfied approval. The humans, they believed, had been put in their place. Order was restored. They were wrong. 37 minutes after the execution, Captain Marcus Webb sat in his command chair aboard the human stealth frigate Retribution, watching the execution footage for the dozenth time. Around him, his crew worked in deadly silence, their faces set in masks of controlled fury. "All Darkfleet vessels report ready, Captain," his communications officer reported, her voice barely steady. Marcus nodded. The Darkfleet, humanity's secret armada built in hidden shipyards beyond Pluto over the past 50 years. Every ship was a ghost, invisible to Dominion sensors, crewed by volunteers who had sworn to protect Earth and her colonies. The Dominion had made two critical errors. First, they believed humanity's public fleet represented their full military capacity. Second, they had executed Sarah Chen, daughter of Admiral Chen Wei, the architect of humanity's hidden war machine. "Signal all ships," Marcus commanded. "Operation Broken Chain is now active." For Sarah, the crew echoed. 42 minutes after the execution, the first strike came at HFY's personal command station. One moment the space around the massive fortress was empty. The next 30 human ships materialized from nowhere, their plasma cannons already firing. The station's shields, designed to withstand conventional attacks, crumpled like paper before humanity's new gravitic weapons. Simultaneously, across all 17 systems, similar attacks began. Human ships appeared behind enemy lines, striking at communication hubs, supply depots, and command centers with surgical precision. But the real genius wasn't in the military strike. It was in the message that followed. 45 minutes after the execution, "People of the Galactic Dominion," came the voice across every communication channel, impossible to block or jam. It was Admiral Chen Wei herself, Sarah's father, speaking from the bridge of humanity's flagship. "You have just witnessed your government murder a 17-year-old girl whose only crime was celebrating her brother's birthday." The footage that followed was devastating. Hidden cameras showed the Luna colony gathering, children singing, parents laughing, the joy of a simple birthday party. Then came the peacekeepers, firing without warning into the crowd. Sarah, shielding younger children with her own body, fighting back only when cornered. "This is what your Dominion calls terrorism," Admiral Chen continued. "A child protecting children. For this they executed my daughter on live broadcast, believing it would break human spirit." The transmission cut to scenes of Dominion forces throughout history, the subjugation of the peaceful Vari, the enslavement of the artistic Kellam, the systematic strip mining of inhabited worlds while their populations were relocated to concentration camps. 47 minutes after the execution, the revolution began with the Vari. Their homeworld erupted in uprising as hidden weapon caches, supplied by human agents over decades, were opened. The Vari had been waiting for this moment, for someone to show them that the Dominion could bleed. The Kelm followed within minutes, their enslaved artists turning their creativity toward crafting explosive devices and coordination signals. The Thren, the Malari, even factions within the Dominion's own ruling Kithara, all rose as one. But it was the Dominion's own military that delivered the final blow. Alien soldiers who had joined the service believing they served order and justice watched the footage of Sarah's execution and saw the truth. They were enforcers for tyrants who murdered children. Admiral Cortex, commanding the Dominion's Third Fleet, was the first to turn. "All ships," he broadcast. "I can no longer serve an empire that executes children. Stand down or be destroyed." Half his fleet immediately ceased operations. The other half hesitated, and in that hesitation human ships struck with overwhelming force. 47 minutes and 30 seconds after the execution, High Executor HFY stared at his command screens in horror as reports flooded in. Rebellion on 12 worlds, military mutinies in 6 fleets, his own command staff defecting in real time. "Sir," his communication officer said, her voice shaking, "Earth is transmitting again." The face that appeared was not Admiral Chen's this time, but a young human male, barely older than the girl they had executed. He wore the uniform of Earth's regular navy, not the mysterious Dark Fleet. "Dominion leadership," he said calmly. "You have 47 minutes to surrender all forces and present yourselves for trial. That's 1 minute for every minute my sister spent dying. If you refuse, we will hunt down every one of you personally." HFY's mandibles clicked frantically. "Who are you to make such demands?" The young man smiled, and it was a smile that promised terrible things. "Lieutenant Commander David Chen, Earth Defense Force. Sarah was my little sister. The birthday party you murdered her for attending, it was mine." Behind him, HFY could see dozens of other young humans, all wearing the same uniform, all wearing the same deadly smile. 46 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, David Chen said. "I suggest you choose quickly." The transmission ended. Around the galaxy, the Galactic Dominion, an empire that had ruled for 3,000 years, crumbled in the space of a single hour. All because they had made the mistake of executing one human girl who died protecting children at a birthday party. They had tried to make an example of humanity. Instead, humanity made an example of them. Epilogue. In the years that followed, xenologists would study what they termed the Chen incident, trying to understand how the execution of a single individual had led to the complete collapse of a galactic empire in under an hour. The answer, they concluded, lay in humanity's most dangerous characteristic. They remembered their dead, and they never ever forgave those who harmed their children. The galaxy learned this lesson well. It would be the last time anyone made that particular mistake.